Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome back to another video. Walker Venrick with Sharp Sports Network, bringing you my top 3 plays for this 4-game NBA slate here on Thursday, March 5th. We have an awesome slate on our hands. We have a handful of studs. We need to make sure that we're on the right ones. You saw the cover, so we're going to talk about him first. But before we do, let's jump right into this. As always, if you have not already, please do leave a like on this video. We'd greatly appreciate your support, as always. If you do have any questions, comments, or maybe some concerns for us, please let us know in the comment section below. We're happy to give you guys advice when we can. Starting off this video, though, we are going to talk about the beard James Harden. James Harden has a 37% usage rate on the season, and this is his first game back in H-Town in over a week. Last time there was against it was on the 26th there against Memphis. He's been shooting pretty subpar lately. Just layman's, anybody could see that. Just look at his field goal percentages, especially his three-point percentage. This is a great chance for him to get back on track here, and this is going to be a very fast-paced game. We have the 8th fastest team in the league, the Clips, against the 4th fastest team in the league, the Rockets, who have they've fallen down a little bit in pace. They're down to the 4th place in the rankings instead of the 2nd place that they've been in for so long. That's more so due to the T-Wolves and the Pelicans playing at an insanely fast pace rather than them actually playing slower. This will be a very, very fast one tonight. There's going to be a ton of opportunities and a ton of true scoring opportunities, as well as assist opportunities for a guy like James Harden to fill up the stat sheet a little bit, to go with a 35 plus real point game like he should have tonight. James Harden is an amazing player, obviously, and the game total on this slate or on this game is actually the highest on the slate by over 11 points right now. The game total is currently sitting at 236, opened at 237, so it's gone down a point, but I'm not really too afraid of that at all. And the Rockets are just 1-point favorites. So we have a competitive and fast-paced game where everyone should see full run into the fourth quarter. It's just a James Harden sort of a night. At 10.7K, I would much rather pay up the extra $700 for him rather than pivoting down to Russell Westbrook, unless you're looking for a little bit of leverage. Russell Westbrook, for me, is more of the tournament play of the two, and James Harden being the cash game play. And, of course, James Harden's always going to be fine in tournaments because he can always smash that 80 fantasy point ceiling that we know he has. This could be the first Harden ceiling that we've seen in a while. As I'm mentioning, he went on that tangent there of 5 in a row, 60-plus fantasy point performances, and then dropped down to a couple 40-point duds, and now he's getting back on track a little bit there against the Knicks on the 2nd. Coming off of 2 days rest, though, back at home in the first time over a week, and a great game here against the Clippers. I love James Harden to bring the fire tonight, and I'll be locking him in all formats tonight. And jumping over, before I go to my second play, let's go over to MonkeyKnifeFight real quick. I want to talk about my play of the day over there. We have a 2-man parlay with James Harden and Kawhi Leonard. I like the over on both of these guys. James Harden's total is pretty high, but I am very high on him. Obviously, this being a competitive game, a fast-paced game, I think that it's going to be a 60-plus fantasy point night for Harden, and obviously a lot of those points are going to come from true scoring and assists rather than rebounds and double-double, triple-double bonuses, so we're not really relying on any of that stuff when it comes to James Harden anyway, which we don't get points for over here on Monkey Knife. And then Kawhi Leonard has an amazing matchup here. The Houston Rockets allow more fantasy points to opposing small forwards than any team in the league, so I like him a lot as well. Again, in a very fast-paced and competitive game. Should see full run into the fourth, as always. But if you guys have not already, make sure you do go over here to MonkeyKnifeFight.com, get signed up, use code SSN for your first deposit for that 100% deposit match. If you do that and you reach out to us on Twitter, again, we will pay for your first deposit. All you have to do is show us proof of you depositing $10, and we will send you $10 back. So it is a free $20 for you to get started with over here on MonkeyKnifeFight.com. Jumping over to FanDuel, the next play I want to talk to you guys about. You might not have seen this one coming because it is such an ugly game. The Nuggets and the Hornets are the two slowest teams in the league, but we are going to talk about Nikola Jokic and why I like him tonight. He has a 28% usage rate, and he averages right around 1.5 fantasy points per minute on the season. I love a sub-10K Nikola Jokic in a lot of matchups, but here against the Hornets, we've heard it all year. If you've been watching the games, you know this yourself. Nikola Jokic looks way more out of shape than we've ever seen him. He looks lazy. He looks just bigger, just out of shape in general, winded. He's not a big center that we want to thrive, to rely on in fast-paced spots. This is the slowest paced game that we will see all year. These are the two slowest teams in the league, Charlotte being the last, and then the Nuggets being 29th. He has a 75-point ceiling roughly, and then a 35 fantasy point floor roughly. That is a great ceiling and floor combo for a guy in GPP tournaments, because if the rest of your line is heat, he's probably not going to bust you, even if he does have that 35 to 40 fantasy point game. But that ceiling is what we're targeting here. And against a slow team like Charlotte, he should be able just to sit there and walk up and down the court the way that he likes to do and be able to have a ton of success inside and fill up the box score. I would look for a big double-double from him today, similar to that last game he had there against Golden State. I don't think we're going to see a ton of assists from him today, but the rebound should be there, and the true scoring should be able to be whatever he can. And I really like him in this. The Charlotte Hornets actually allow the 5th most fantasy points per game to opposing centers in the league right now. And he should really thrive in this slow environment. Against guys like Bismack Biyombo, Cody Zeller, Hernan Gomez, it should just be the Nikola Jokic show down low and inside. Because on the outside, guys like Jamal Murray, Will Barton, in a slow-paced game like this, it just does not make sense to target anybody from the Nuggets other than Nikola Jokic unless you're just trying to be even more different. But with everybody probably focusing in on James Harden, Russell Westbrook, Kawhi, the guys in that Clippers game with that massive total, Nikola Jokic could be the edge you need on a 4-game slate to really separate yourself from the field, paying up for that sub-10K price tag. He is a very, very interesting play tonight. I like him in all formats. I prefer him in GPP, so just because it is a little bit of edge to have on a 4-game slate when you pay up for the stud that's probably going to be the least owned of Kawhi, Russell, and Harden, and Nikola Jokic being the least of the 4 in terms of ownership. So I like him a ton tonight. So keep an eye on him. I think that he's going to be able to rack up a couple steals tonight too against the Charlotte Hornets, who do turn the ball over quite a bit. So be on the lookout for that. And then monitor Devonte Graham's status as well. The Nuggets are 10-point favorites right now. If Devonte Graham gets ruled out, I could see this game actually being a total blowout. If Graham plays, I like the odds of this game staying within that 10-point spread. So keep an eye on that. And then the last play that I want to talk to you guys about over here, now that we've brought him up, is actually Devonte Graham. Somebody that nobody's really going to be talking about today. One reason is he might not play. But this 5.8K price tag on him is the lowest I can remember this season. Just in memorable at all ever this season. I don't remember him being 5.8K ever. He has a 26% usage rate and averages just over a fantasy point per minute on the year. This is, again, it's a drastic price drop on Devonte Graham. He's been playing very average at best lately. We have not seen a ceiling game from him in quite a while. We've seen a couple 50, 45, 45 fantasy point performances that were all in decent spots, especially the Minnesota one. But now we have him here against Denver in a statistically tough matchup. But as of late, Denver's been giving up a ton of fantasy points to opposing guards, and I like Devonte Graham's odds of crushing this price tag just because it is so cheap. He is definitely a GPP-only play, though. I want to make that clear to you guys. He's a boomer bust player. He could easily drop one of these 15 fantasy point performances tonight. Again, a very slow and tough matchup, but in these slow matchups, when he's going to have time to get set on the perimeter and everybody's kind of just walking up and down the court, like I said, is what it feels like. There's not going to be a ton of opportunities, but if he's shooting effectively and he's having success just from 3-point range, honestly, if he makes 4 or 5 plus threes, he's going to have a lot more success tonight and fill up the box score here and there as well. He's slowed down a lot in that assist column, which is something that we were used to earlier in the year, and then he started picking it up and getting some of these double-double bonuses here. Look for him to bounce back tonight. I like him quite a bit coming off this injury. I don't think it's going to be something that we're too concerned with because Devonte Graham is just a shooter. He's not going to be a Russell Westbrook, drive as hard as he can in the lane. I like him a lot from the mid-range and then also from 3-point land here against guys like Jamal Murray that he should see on the outside. So again, keep an eye on him tonight. GPP only, but great correlation with Nikola Jokic. At this price tag, there's a legit shot at Devonte Graham hitting 9 or 10x value. This isn't 7K that we were used to earlier in the year. I love the price tag. The matchup is what it is, but on a 4-game slate, we need to try to be a little bit different, especially if you're playing like the main GPP, and I like the edge that Devonte Graham could give us tonight. So again, that is all I have for you guys. I hope that you did enjoy this video. We will be live on Twitch this afternoon right around 5 Eastern. Make sure you guys come out to the live stream, and I will have my article posted on sharpsportsnetwork.com breaking down 3 more of my top plays today. So make sure you guys go give that article a read. It'll be up by 2:30 Eastern, so make sure you stay on the look for that. And I do appreciate you guys coming out again. I hope to see you in the live stream later. If I don't, then I will see you tomorrow. But good luck to everyone on this slate tonight.